Welcome to the Fan Man Podcast. I'm your host Ace. We got a full squad today. We got of course we got Brian up here. We got Jerz, and then we got the special guest again, Britt. She's blessing us with her time. Britt, people really been asking for you to be on the show again. They like the female perspective, so that's why I had to reach out to you again. I'm glad you joined. I know I kind of was asking you to do it, and you was like, I don't know, but I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah, for sure.
Because this is, I'm telling you, this is what you're supposed to be doing. It's your calling, yo. You're a good speaker, so thanks for coming on again. But we're gonna talk about this first topic. I don't know if y'all familiar with the Doja Cat thing, but Doja Cat was up on some live stream wilding. I'll let Brian take over and explain it because he seen it. He brought it to my attention.
Nah, it's just like I never really fuck with Doja Cat like this. Like she wasn't not like, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't a fan of hers at all, but it's more so how we give our time as a culture, Black people, we give our time and energy to anybody, or we, as we like to say, invite anybody to the cookout without knowing shit about them, or the first white person that can Tootsie Roll and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? They invited to the cookout and whatnot. She just she's half Black, she half white, but she grew up without her dad who's apparently Black, and she was saying how she liked to be called nigger when she getting fucked, and it apparently is a saying that I never knew about, that I didn't know about until this shit came about. So I got something out of it where I guess white people, to make fun of Black people that get killed where they unarmed by police officers, and then, they like to say that didn't do nothing, like to mock us or to mock them, basically, and it's basically like they spell it like DINDUNUFFIN, like to mock us, like he didn't do nothing, that type of thing. Yeah. So and she, apparently she got a song called "Didn't Do Nothing" to mock, you know what I mean? So we really gotta, because we shape the culture, we move the culture, and Black people, we decide what's hot and what's not. So, and we just got to be more aware who we invite to the cookouts or to the table, so to speak, because people don't fuck with us, but they'll make it seem like they do to come get money with us, because we'll make a motherfucker rich. If we fuck with you, we'll support you. And they come over here, they use us, they come get money and shit like that, but it take, look at Lil Nas X and what he had to go through, and how he wasn't invited to their cookout and all that shit, and he probably had the biggest country song all last year. So, but he wasn't embraced by that side of that culture the way that we'll embrace other cultures and shit like that. Yeah. So that's my thing.
How you feel about that, Jerz?
Oh man, it's so many layers to this. It's the you got the economic situation, you got the cultural situation. But for me, I'm really not surprised by it, and it seems to be the thing. Music, definitely hip hop music. I heard hip hop was like the number one export, number one American export. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So therefore, it's always going to be capitalized or try to be, But this thing where, this ain't nothing new. Mariah Carey, she's half or partially Black, and if she could sing really good, then we'll accept her. You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing with Drake. I think we all know Drake really white, but since he got a Black daddy, and since he can act like, a brother, in his videos and stuff, then we'll accept it. This thing with Post Malone, Post Malone dropped this song, this Allen Iverson song, or White Iverson, whatever it was. And because he's white and he can, make hip hop sound and music, then he gets so it's a real economic situation. But to what Brian was saying about, not
bringing people into the
not welcome
cookouts.
To the cookout. I feel that theory. I just don't know if it's possible anymore. Because like I'm thinking about gold. Like we all know gold is, you can't really duplicate gold. Gold is gold, whether it's 10, 14 karat or whatever.
Yeah.
But no matter, because gold is so valuable and so dope, that you're gonna always have these fake gold, you know what I'm saying, in the middle of the mall places. You just can't stop it. Like it's
Right.
And I think that's the thing with hip hop. Hip hop is it's so pure, it's so dope, that you're always gonna have these gimmicky people, whether they really rock with the culture or not. They're gonna want to be a part of it and capitalize of it. And since, a lot of, white people, buy music and buy this kind of music, they're gonna pop. But as far as being accepted, it's hard to accept something like that. Like Shorty, and, I didn't even know that. The information Brian just gave, I never knew about that whole alt-right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The things they do, and that's kind of crazy.
Britt, how you feel about it?
I have a question. I mean, it's kind of like, I'm wondering who are the gatekeepers of the culture at this point? Like, who gets to say who's? What'd you say?
No, I was just laughing.
That's a good question.
Oh, yeah, it's like who's the gatekeeper? Because who gets to say, okay, they get invited to the, I mean, I get that whole statement or whatever. It's a figure of speech, but it's like, who are the gatekeepers? Like, if at this point in my mind, from a pop culture standpoint, if Jay-Z puts his name on something, or not name, but if he says, gives the okay for somebody, it's like, oh, okay, they cool then. But because it's like, I feel like people who are really hip hop heads for real, they kind of look to our what do you call those, like our giants within hip hop to yay or nay that shit. It's like if Kendrick Lamar comes on and he disses somebody, he's like, yeah, nah, we don't fuck with them. But it's like if somebody says, it's that's the question I have in my head. It's like, okay, so who is going to say? I mean, the consumer is never going to say she can't come to hip hop, or like the dollars speak. So you really, that cookout shit is for the fucking birds, because if she's still making money off the culture, that's her success. If she's still making Billboard charting, because this generation, all they care about is a fucking Billboard chart. It's like that's her level of success. That's why she can get on live and say the shit that she's saying, because it's like, I'm making noise right now. I got the numbers, so it really doesn't matter what I do.
My bad. Go ahead.
I think we as individuals is supposed to be the gatekeepers. I don't think it should be left to one person or a couple people at the top. I think you got to do your own part and not worry about it. See, the problem is people get passes because I might feel one way today, but then because everybody else is still listening or consuming whatever it is, like Tekashi, you know what I'm saying? You take his situation. I stand by what I stand by. So it doesn't matter if everybody around me is bumping it or not. I won't bump it because I don't fuck with what he did.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to just do your part and then hope that everybody else, fall in line. But if they don't, the problem that we having is people saying, well, fuck it, everybody else doing it. Which brings you back to the old, if everybody jump over a bridge, you gonna do it? It's like, come on, man. Just do your thing.
I'm with both sides of it, because I do feel Britt on the fact that the OGs sometimes gotta lead the charge. They do it in other situations. Like I was saying about Lil Nas X. They gatekeepers kept that nigga out of there. He ain't get nominated for a country song and all that type of shit. They wasn't fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? Some of them
Let me ask you this.
But they was, kind of keeping that nigga at bay.
Let me ask you this. Let me ask y'all this. Is it a culture thing, or is it like a black and white? Is it a culture thing, or is it a real and fake thing? So like, cause 6ix9ine is Mexican and capitalizes off of, hip hop music. Post Malone is white and capitalizes
You went out
on his own thing. Yeah.
Hold on, you went out. Can you repeat that?
Well, I was saying Post Malone.
Repeat the last
one. Once he made the hip hop song and a few hip hop songs, then he started doing his own rock thing. Same thing with Pink. If y'all remember back in the days with Pink came out with an R&B signing song, and then she went, went to the pop, like rockish thing.
Yeah.
So is this a situation with culture, or is it real and fake? Like, because you're not being real to the culture, Or is it because, you know, there are these white people or these Mexican people or these people who's half white and half black, but they really are about more of white culture than they are black culture. They just use the culture to capitalize.
To excel.
For me, I think it might be a culture thing, because you still have rules to operate by within that culture. Like Drake, for it. Like, I never fucked with Drake, but one of the things that I noticed about Drake is he kind of the same way. Like, he'd capitalize off of the culture and shit like that,
Absolutely.
and things that go on within our culture. Like, I ain't never heard Drake speak on issues like, you know, whether it's police brutality and stuff like that. Like, his voice, I feel like his voice is so big.
Right.
Like, he can really help and do a lot, and he just stay away
Right.
from it. And I don't know if he it's for, you know, personal reasons or sponsors or whatever the case is, but he just don't. And that's one of the things I don't like about that nigga. And the whole blackface shit he did, I ain't like that either. You know what I'm saying? That shit was disrespectful. Is hell. I feel like he get a lot of passes. That nigga get a lot of passes that he should, he shouldn't get.
I agree with you. I feel the same way.
I just he's the definition or the poster child of culture vulture.
Now here's the thing. Because, you know, we talking about the half black, half white thing. You know, J. Cole is half black, half white.
But he's about our culture. What J. Cole is about black culture.
Facts.
You know, he makes videos, music about what's going on in our culture, and he stays true to it. Like Brian said, you know, for Drake to have that type of voice and to claim to be, Drake got a song called Worst Behavior where he talks about they never loved us and, you know, we on our worst behavior. Yeah. That's really our culture. That's not Drake's culture. So when you make a song about that in a video, like you in the hood in Memphis and in our culture, but when they getting shot out there by police, you're not saying nothing. You're not speaking up. You know, you really not even doing nothing really good for the culture. Then that I believe,
and I feel the exact same way, but I know we might have a person that's listening who probably thought, well, J. Cole's half black, half white. So I wanted y'all to address
J. Cole was in when Mike Brown got shot. J. Cole, he put his feet on the ground. He was there with him.
No, I understand. I brought it up because I know someone
right.
Now it ain't the same. It's this apples and oranges. That Drake, that J. Cole, he you see him with a Kaepernick jersey on. You see him speaking on it. You hear him talk about like he's 100%, down for the cause and shit like that. Like J. Cole, listen,
and he didn't grow up in the white suburbs.
But he get it. Listen, J. Cole will hop on the R&B song and talk about some pro black shit. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So how you feel about that? How you feel about Eminem?
But see, that's what I'm saying. Before you comment on Eminem, that's what I'm saying. You don't even have to be half black, half white. You could be white. You could be Mexican. You could be Puerto Rican. If you using the culture to capitalize and you're not for the culture, I think that's people's problems. You know what I'm saying? That's the issue. Because you could be white, but if you stand for the culture, you fighting for the culture, and the culture is feeding you, then it's cool. You understand what I'm saying?
So do you feel like M is culture vulture, or do you feel like he stands for the culture?
I think M. I honestly, I don't. Let me say this. I think M is one of the dopest lyricists that ever, you know what I'm saying, to spit. And I think that's because he just wants to be dope. But a lot of Eminem's hits ain't really like in our culture or trying to capitalize off our culture. You understand what I'm saying? Like, M don't be talking about he from the M be making songs about Britney Spears and the white boy and his moms and stuff. Like, that stuff really ain't our culture. So the stuff he really capitalizes the most don't be like a grab from our culture. And because I don't think M be really doing much for the culture. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think he ever really tries to, you know, milk our culture at the same time. You understand what I'm saying?
I think you could tell if a person is really being true to themselves as an artist and when they're not. Like, M was a true just hip hop rapping artist. Like, but he talked about stuff that was about him. You don't see, that's why he's not a culture vulture, because he didn't come in trying to be something that he wasn't. Like Iggy Azalea, you could tell she's a packaged artist. She's not a rapper. Like, so it's like you could tell, and you can feel it. It's obvious. Like Doja, that girl is talented in her own right for this generation. Whatever they like that kind of off the wall, trippy type vibe from artists nowadays. That's why the Tekashis of the world are like soaring, because it's like they with that off the wall crazy stuff to kind of escape.
It's the drugs. Damn.
I was trying not to say that, you? But I'm like, it gotta be drugs, because
I think we lost you.
Some of the stuff
repeat just the last thing you said. Who? I don't know. We have the technical difficulties right here. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, like I don't know. It's thunderstorming all down here anyway. But all that to say, we can tell Black people. We can tell who's being honest.
At the same time, we too forgiving though. We too forgiving. Like we gotta put our foot down sometimes. Like, cause if we gonna keep it real, motherfuckers be playing with us. Like we gotta let these, like, yo, we not stop playing with us, man. What the fuck is wrong with
But then how that goes back to Britt's earlier point. You know, who's the gatekeeper? How do we do it? You know what I mean?
And then to add a little to complicate it all the more, Black people are not monolithic. All of us don't like hip hop.
I like that word, yo. You've been reading. I was like, damn, hold on, let me get my dictionary.
Hey, look, this is another thing too, though, that I think we don't consider, because we kind of get it fuzzy. But this is my opinion. We not in our own house. You know what I'm saying? It don't matter if I'm staying, you know what I'm saying, a month in this hotel. You understand what I'm saying? And if somebody coming in here, you know what I'm saying, doing what they want to do, and it ain't necessarily what I agree with, I ain't gonna have too much to say about it. But if you come in my house trying to take my stuff and stuff that I'm doing, then I got everything to say about it, and that's a problem. You understand what I'm saying? America's not our house, and we know it in our hearts. No matter how much we try to be like, this our home and this and this and that, we know this not our home. So even when people try to do, or when they do what they want to do, in some ways we just be like, hey man, let them do them. We just gonna continue to do us. You know what I'm
saying? Yeah.
But now it's at the point where if somebody like Doja, she out there showing out, you know, like I take it like a family. Like if you know your cousin is out there acting a fool, you're gonna go get your cousin and say, sit down, cousin, like get your shit together. What you doing? Or if cousin don't get their stuff together, you disown them. You turn your back on them until they get their stuff together, because they're making your family name look bad. It's like we don't collectively go, fuck them. Like BET will give her a nomination next year. You know, it's like on some silly, because of numbers, because Instagram and YouTube and all of that, these social media platforms are what is driving the force of these artists, instead of us really just saying, nah, we don't really, that's silliness. Not to talk about her art, because, you know, you like what you like. Art is subjective. But when it comes to you blatantly disrespecting a collective of people, and especially, and I know I'm going off on a tangent a little bit, but especially a people who are having an identity crisis anyway. And I mean, African Americans, when we go to Africa, we really don't feel at home. We don't feel at home here. So we trying to find out, and then we develop cultures within this fucking land, like hip hop, like cornbread, like stuff that we have to develop. And then you're going to come
That's
shit
true,
on
yo.
it? Are you
kidding
me?
That is true. Because when Jerz said that earlier, like, this ain't our home, but I'm thinking like, yo, do we even truly have a home? Because like you said, when we, you know, one of my dreams is to move to Africa. I say that all the time, you know. But it's like you said, we not accepted there neither. You know, so damn, what are we supposed to do? Mm-hmm. That's why the only thing I say is you can only do what you can do. You do you, and just hope everybody else, you know, fall in line.
But doesn't that create this individualization, which is separating us anyway? Not
necessarily, because if you stick to your morals, you know what I mean, it can rub off on other people, but you will also find other people who feel like you, and that's when you stay connected to those people, and then you raise your kids to do the same. You know, if you raise them right, hopefully they will stick to the same morals because that's how, you know, a lot of times morals are passed down. It's you're passing down certain things, you know what I mean? So you teach your kids, and then hopefully as we come together, because remember, those people that just letting anyone in and all of that, they gonna really have that true crab in the barrel mentality. So if we feel a certain way, we will stick together, and as we stick together, we will grow more power. And then next thing you know, those followers will then begin to try to be, come into our world. You might open them up to something new. So I don't know. We lost Jerz though. I don't know what happened. His phone probably died or some shit. This was real fucked up. Yeah, we was having a good time when this whole thing just kept the technical difficulties. But it's all good. We still gonna keep rocking though. You know what I mean? Britt, so what's going on with you? You got anything new? Yeah.
Anything new? I do. I have okay, so this is what I've been thinking about lately. And that is being true to myself by staying by myself. Like, I love to date. I love, coming together with a brother and, we do our thing or whatever. But it's kind of like at the place where I kind of am enjoying, like this pandemic has kind of forced me into just being by myself. I've gotten off the apps and all of that. And I'm like, let me just take some time to really get to know myself, because I am a type of person, I swear to you, I will meet a guy and date him for a while, and then I get bored and I'm like, get me out of here. So I'm like, let me not break anybody's heart. Let me really go into, because I don't want to be a person who gets married and then 10 years down the line.
What do you think?
A lot of women do. I like that you said that too. I'm sorry, B. Hold on. I like that you said that, because a lot of women do that.
Yeah.
A lot of women do that. And that's how you see them waiting to exhale moments later on. And then they start saying, oh, it's all about me. And it makes the other guy look so bad. But it's like, yo, you didn't discover yourself. That's not my problem. You know what I'm saying? So don't act like it's my problem 10 years down the line, now that you're figuring out who you are, and you're looking at me like I'm the bad guy or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm holding you back. Nah, you decided to be with me. You want to be with me. You know what I'm saying? But Brian, your question was, where do you think that comes from?
Why does she feel like that? You get to a point in a relationship where you feel like you need to get out of there.
Because I keep growing, and I don't mean to make that sound, because I know y'all have heard that before. It sounds cliche. Like, I'm always reading, I'm always looking for different perspectives so that my world can expand. I don't want to always be around the people that think like me and talk like me. So I'm always like, into new books and all kind of things and podcasts or whatever. And I look at the dude, and he's just comfortable with just coming home and doing the same things that he's doing year in and year out. And I'm like, bro. And then when I come home, because I want my mate to be somebody that I chop it up with, I'm like, what you think about this? Or if I come home with a business idea, you're not shooting it down. You're like, yeah, Britt, and we're just collaborators. Like, I really want a collaborator. I don't want to be with no dude where we got together and the sex was great and it made sense then, back in 2010 when we got together. But now it's like 2012 and we kind of, we kind of stuck. So and I'm not saying that I'm looking for this boss type dude. Like, I don't think like that. I'm not looking for a dude who's as ambitious as I am. I'm looking for that complimentary type thing. Like, everybody says this, this is nothing new, but I'm saying we need to be able to grow together. That's all. It's hard to find that, because I don't want to sit down and list all the things that I do activity wise, and then I'm looking at you and what you're doing, and I don't want to seem like we're competing. But you can be a beta. I'm an alpha chick. Let's just be real. And you can be a beta dude, but be a beta dude in the right way. Like, have some things that you're interested in. Like, be a geek. If you're interested in astrophysics,
but that don't make him a beta,
like,
though.
Oh, I don't know shit about that. I don't really care about it. But you're passionate about it. No. I'm not saying I don't want to put nobody in a category, but I'm just giving that as an example. Like, because beta just means, we know who's really running shit, but hey, you can. I can't get into all that. That's a whole nother podcast.
Real quick too.
I have a philosophy about
what you said. You pointed out something, and you and I talked about it. Shit. I think we all talked about it at some point. Something I wanted to talk about, which is temporary truths,
or temporary forevers.
Yeah. There you go. That's a better explanation. Your truth now is, oh, I'll be with you forever. But then, like you said, you got bored. You know what I'm saying? So why do women feel? Because I feel like, I don't know. Maybe men do that shit too. But why do people do that? Where they just feel the need to say, oh, it's forever. And then are they considered a liar 10 years down the line when they now are feeling like, no, it's not going to be forever? You know,
well, it's unfair to think that you're going to get unconditional love from anybody walking the face of this earth, because depending upon the conditions, that forever love they talking about.
That's why I don't even say it.
I think
because people are constant.
I think every situation
I don't say it either.
Is its own. Like I wouldn't take one explanation and use it as a blanket. But as far as like, you know, you might have a reason that, like you said, you might outgrow. You know, people. He said temporary forever is like people might, you know, drift away from each other for different reasons. Like yours, like you said, you might outgrow a guy, whatever the case is. The next nigga might just want to fuck other bitches. The next nigga might, you know what I'm saying? There might be a different reasons for your temporary forever, not necessarily one blanket answer for, you know what I'm saying, that it covers everything. But I mean, I agree with what you're saying.
But like if you say it, then shouldn't you stick to
you
it?
should.
Then
that's the thing.
Isn't that where loyalty comes into play
exactly.
too?
And a lot of niggas just too lazy to put the effort in. And a lot of times that okay.
It ain't just niggas though, it's women
right,
too.
That's what I'm saying.
Because women are the one who always usually, I never leave you. You always had me, baby. All that shit.
When I said niggas,
and then they switch
it
up.
When I said niggas, I ain't mean men, I meant people. But
oh, okay.
But that's the thing. Like people just don't want to work at. You know what I'm saying? Don't want to work at it.
But, you know, I was talking, was it you, Ace? We was talking earlier about that feeling of like the high school love of being in love or something. And it made me think about, this is the thing. When it comes to raw, bona fide love, I am in love with this guy that I was seeing on and off here lately in Durham. And and I met him like years ago when I finished undergrad, and he got married and we moved on. I've lived in like 2 or 3 states over, and I came back home. He's still here. I'm still in love with this dude. And it's nothing. And I want to text him or tell him this or write him a letter, but I refuse to do it. I want to tell him there's nothing you can do that will make me not love you. You've gone on, you've gotten married, you moved on.
And you see, like you still in love with him. So you feel like that, like, yo, it's nothing you could do.
Still.
Hold on, hold on. But you feel that way and you're not gonna let the nigga know?
Yeah. So that's a whole nother subject. We're gonna get on to you being scared. We're gonna help you with that one. But at the end of the day, you know, what you said, you feel like it's still there. It's still there. And I know that to be true because my step pops, after him and my mom split, he ended up getting remarried. And he got married to his, I think, like middle school girlfriend. And she had been in love with him still to this day. And that shit happens. So when you say that, when people are saying that, oh, I love you forever, I never go anywhere, I think they saying that shit most times because it sound good.
Or they in the moment.
And they lying.
I mean, it's not necessary. Yeah.
That's why it's a temporary. Because you hear somebody like Britt who's still in love with this guy.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that as a lie, because in that moment you might feel that way 100%.
But if I tell you that shit, if I tell you I would never leave you, I'm supposed to never leave you. Like, your word is supposed to be the bond. You know what I'm saying? If I say I will always love you, you know what I'm saying? Then all right, you should always love me. You know what I'm saying? Don't just speak it.
That's what I'm saying. That's one of the things I don't get. Like, okay, you know, I went through that with a chick, and I understand the feeling. You know, feelings probably was hurt, so on and so forth. But like I told her, like, you know, we might not be together, but I don't want to lose you as a friend. You know what I'm saying? I just told her I felt like you somebody that I will always want around, even though even though it wasn't you know, it wasn't gonna work out with us as far as a romantic relationship. I told her, like, you know, I love your energy, I love your spirit. You're just a positive person. Like, I need you around. I almost feel like I want you around. Like,
But why didn't you want the romantic side of things?
He said the sex was trash.
The sexual trash. I just knew at that time I couldn't be there for her the way she wanted to as a, you know, as a man, as her man, not as a man, but as her man. Mm-hmm. I knew I couldn't, you know, do what I'm supposed to do or do what I need to do. So it's better if, you know, now if she would have weathered the storm and waited till I, you know, got back on my shit, then that's a different thing. But when you care about somebody,
but I'm sure she was telling you that forever shit. Huh? I'm sure she was telling you that forever
she was.
Shit.
It was.
Yeah, and you see,
it was at the time. And now look, I would have gave you a couple weeks of some space to get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like, go ahead, get your shit together. You know, because sometimes when you break up with somebody, you don't even want to look at that motherfucker. I'm pretty sure that's how she felt. So, you know, go ahead, take your time, come on back. Like, and that's the thing about me. I'm extremely open-minded. Like, I don't judge at all. Like, I literally understand everything because I look like, you know, I look at things from your shoes or your perspective or your point of view. So I understand. Like, I really understand. I get it. I never judge you. Now, don't take the jokes personally, because when you tell me about it, the joke is gonna follow. But it ain't. But that's not me judging you. That's just me making light of the situation. Me telling you that is all right. That is okay. Like, you know, I never judge you for that. That's something I never throw back in your face. And that's one thing about, I know this about women do it, but more so I say it's a big thing that black women do. Like, black women be asking for black men to open up and not be so guarded and this and that, da. But soon as something happens, as soon as it happens, she throwing that shit right in your face. She putting your business on social media. She trying to use what you like, the information you confided in her. She trying to use that shit to break you now. Like, you could have told her that you was molested at 6, and then she gon', when y'all break up or some shit like that, she gon', that's why you probably like fingers in your ass now, because you was molested when you was a kid. Like, now she on you, and she you know what I'm saying? Shit. Now she trying to use that shit to break you down and, you know, belittle you. So
yeah,
that's exactly what it is.
That's betrayal, but I think that's betrayed energy. Yeah, if she feels betrayed, she gonna go for the jugular. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you really can't.
No, I'm not justifying it. I ain't justifying it.
Have you ever done something like that? Keep it real.
But I just know women who. I would never. What? Okay. I protect men, black men specifically. I don't play that shit. That's why I'm like, I don't give up unless you do something really detrimental, like you kill somebody or you kill my family member, something. I don't fuck with you. But nah, like, it's really nothing a man could do to make me betray his trust or put something out there. Like, I protect men. I protect my men.
Yeah,
and rare. Not only is it dope, but it's rare. It's rare as hell.
Mm-hmm. Because you don't think to be petty. You just like, all right, fuck it.
Yeah.
I took the L, but I'm not gonna play the game of, well, let me get you back since you did this to me. You know what I mean?
The job will get done. Wow, you gonna go to my uncle molested me? Like, oh, what? That's the card you gonna play?
Let me tell you something. Perfect example. This guy told me how his ex-flame or ex-woman he was dating or whatever said some stuff to him. I'm trying not to say it. Like, for instance, she would say stuff like, you are a slob because you leave Kleenex on the side of the bed at night. Okay. That's not what really happened. I'm just using it as an example. And now I hear the story, but when I come to your house and say you left dishes in the sink for 2 days, I'm not thinking, yeah, she right, you are a slob. I'm like, nope, I'm dealing with this brother at face value. Maybe he was going through something. Maybe you got busy. Some people hiring maids nowadays. I'm going to take it at face value. If you poured your heart out to me as to how this woman talked down to you because of the decision that she was making to be in your own home that you pay rent for, but, you know, she couldn't just either pick up behind you or whatever. I mean, I get it. People go through relationship issues like that, and that could be a big deal if somebody not living as clean as the next person. But for me to keep peace in my house of the day is I'm going to wash dishes because you don't do it.
Okay.
Oh, y'all went out? Yeah, it's like
We heard that a lot. You said the order
of the day is, if I see you keep doing something that's getting on my nerves, or I'm gonna say, listen, I'm taking care of the dishes. Don't even worry about it. That's not your thing.
Yeah.
But you got to same team. I'm trying to write a book, but I don't want to do it. It's gonna be called Same Team. We on the same team, bro.
Right.
You say you trying to write a book, but
I don't
you
feel
don't
like
want to
doing
do
it because every time I start, I get too emotional. I'd be like, man, because I don't like to hear people say, how you single people always got always got what's advice, relationship advice. I'm like, and I don't even say the corny shit like coaches don't play. I play. But, I also have a more spiritual and holistic perspective on things. And it's like, yo, we Black. That should be enough for us to want to be together. Then we human and we animals. We should be out here mating. You don't see no lion. I'm going off on a tangent. But you don't see no lion out here single. A lion got a fucking wife. You don't see animals. Animals be out here.
Bitches.
Animals out here linking up. Human beings, the only jokers be out. I'm a self-love myself. That's cool. That should be one and the same. It should not be one or the other. You can love yourself and still.
Yeah, they're not mutually exclusive.
You can still be looking for your Barbie to your Ken.
But you also said earlier that you was, you kind of glad
that I have this time to get to know B Scott. Yeah.
Yeah. So are you?
You was just talking about yourself then.
Yeah, of course. That's why I need to write this book. All of it is about me. Most of it just learning from the mistakes I've made and the mistakes I continue to make, and also learning how to take a step back and not look at society, because a lot of the energy that I fight and wrestle with is not me and this guy. It's societal pressures. You should be married. You should.
Which I always talk about. Me and you had conversations about that. Like, I'm always talking about, yo, stop letting, not me telling you this, but I tell people this, mainly women. Stop letting society dictate your happiness and how you're supposed to be in a relationship.
Yes.
Whatever. If your man has more than one girl and you okay with that, you
stop
okay
telling
with
your
that.
business.
Yeah. It does. It just because that works for y'all and it doesn't work for somebody else don't mean that, you know what I'm saying, it's like, oh, well, I need to rethink it. No, because there's no right or wrong way per se. There's no one way for a relationship to work. Because if the one way was just, oh, I meet you and we, it's just us two. If that was the correct way, we wouldn't have such a high.
Because let me tell you something. It's different ecosystems. So, I know y'all talked about LeBron and his situation last episodes or whatever. Basketball wives that are wives to rich men and superstars and all of that, they know what they signing up for. They know. So it's kind of like, of course, down here where, brother, if you making $60,000, $85,000 a year, you can't afford to have multiple women. You need to play within your bracket. That's how I feel about that. But if I ever was to come in contact with a balling dude, I already know what I'm signing up for. He fucking.
When women say that, like, you don't make enough, like, so how much, okay, how much do an extra woman cost?
But I'm saying, if you can cover up a pregnancy, it needs to, this is my opinion. If you can cover up a pregnancy and take a shot before you get home, if you caught a venereal disease, then you can afford to be out there fucking around like that. If you can't,
but there's some diseases you can't.
That's what I take. That's how I see it. You have to be able to make enough to cover your tracks. If you're not going to be mature enough to come home and be like, babe, I love you to pieces. But sex for me, I'm able to articulate that sex for me is just sex. I'm just going out and doing my thing, but everybody can't articulate that.
If it was a rule where niggas can have multiple women based on salary, oh man, the black man would be the hardest working man.
Stop it. Listen, you just need to be real with yourself. You need to be real with yourself.
Niggas will be out here.
Yes, sir. Niggas got me fucked up.
Like, yo, I'm 5,000 away from that third bitch.
Yeah, I'm about.
But you gotta know
I'm
why.
about 10K away from that red bone, big dog. What you mean?
I hate to tell you, women don't like sharing. You can forget it. We don't like sharing.
Yeah, y'all don't like sharing.
I always say that. It's like, is this the situation right here? Either men gonna stop cheating, or women go adjust and adapt. And that's the only way this shit gonna work.
All
and
men don't cheat.
I tell you one thing. Listen, most men only as faithful as their options. You might don't. I always tell chicks like, stop looking for.
They go that tax bracket shit.
Like, stop looking for a nigga that don't cheat, and get you a nigga that don't cheat that much.
Facts. I feel you, son. Yo, I was just having this conversation.
Because it's gonna be difficult if you women don't like to share, but they also don't like to date ugly niggas either, unless they rich. So if you were a handsome nigga with some good slab, like you can obtain women. Like they don't care, women to take care of you. It's women out there that'll take care of you. If most women want a handsome nigga. So if you get it,
let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, Britt. You get a dude. He's what you like physically, from head to toe. He treats you good. He don't really make much though. He's not broke. He's not a broke ass nigga. Like he got a job, but you know he like most of America. He just lives paycheck to paycheck. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But that nigga be wanting to smash some chicks sometimes. Now he doesn't do it greasy. He not out here fucking your cousin or your coworker or nothing like that. But you know sometimes he go out and he might meet a chick and might fuck, but he treats you right. How do you
We're gonna have a discussion.
Can you
we have to. That's a loaded question because we have to have a discussion. I have to be able to say to him, you know, you may fall for a female. You don't know that.
Why? But why? So here's the thing about that, right? If you in love with a person, you fall in love with a person. Why do y'all think? And we got a good relationship. Why do you think it's so easy for a guy to fall for somebody else? Because it's not easy for me. If I fall for you, I'm single. And before you answer that, I'm single, fucking different chicks, meeting a bunch of chicks. You notice me and you had conversations about some women that I've met and dated and all that, whatever. Not dated in a relationship, but you know, never once felt like, man, I'm about to be in this relationship. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't feeling that way. But now all of a sudden I meet a woman I actually fall in love with, and then I get the hall pass and she think I'm gonna fall for somebody else. If it was that easy, I would have been in a relationship. So why, if I actually found somebody I really do care about, do y'all think that we're gonna find somebody else that fast? How easy is it to fall in love? It's very hard. You know what I'm saying? So why would you think I'll be able to just duplicate it that easy now that I'm in a relationship with you?
Because you don't know how you're gonna feel. Like you don't. It just matters of the heart of weird things. She may cook you a meal one day or do something very thoughtful, or y'all having a discussion, and that may be one night where you feel like opening up about whatever the case. You just feel like you trust her, and those are the breadcrumbs that start a relationship. If you just smash it, then just go get some pussy and go home.
But that's exactly what it could be. I could just be fucking. But y'all always think that it's going to lead to something else, and that's not the case. If we don't have a good relationship, then it could lead to something else. But if we have a great relationship, but a nigga just like fucking, so, you know, different things from time to time, like Brian always say, yo, don't mean a nigga don't.
Well, let me ask you this then, because because I was gonna get back with my first boyfriend at one point. But I asked him, I said, listen, I love you. We can build a home and we can do the thing. But on occasion, I want to step out. Now, I had this discussion with this brother. He said, let me sleep on it. Of course, he said no. He eventually said no because he was like, why? Like, why do you need to be with somebody else? It's like, it's not like that. It's just, I know me. I know I like what I like sometimes. And then sometimes what happens to me, and I'm being so honest. What happens to me is this: I can date a guy and the sex will be great, great, great. But then once you put a relationship title on it, it get whack. I'm like, why is this not fun no more? Like, why are you not nasty? Be nasty. Don't fuck me like I'm your
So
wife.
why was it okay for you, but it's not okay for the guy? Because y'all catch the feelings more
but I've outgrown
sex.
That. I'm not there no more. I'm that girl. Like, if the sex is banging, I confuse good sex with love, so I don't even play them games. I'm not there anymore.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, overall, though, you know, guys are not the ones usually catching the feelings.
Yeah, but we don't. We territorial. We don't have a reason. We're not even. I hear you. babe, but I ain't even trying to compute that in my mind and make it make sense. It don't make fucking sense because you talking about somebody else fucking my dick. It don't make sense. I'm territorial.
Yeah.
You can't make that make sense.
What's your sign, Britt?
I'm a Sagittarius.
Okay.
She took a long pause on that one too.
Dramatic. She was about to make up one.
No.
I'm a Virgo.
Nah. Sagittarius.
But ain't no. Listen. Like, I don't know. You said why a nigga ain't nasty no more. Sometimes, like, man, listen. I was talking about this shit with my homeboy the other day. Like, niggas want an info until they get an info. And then that shit become a full-time job, man. This bitch be trying to fuck you literally to death. You like, God damn. Fuck. Yo, you be exhausted, man. You be like, yo, shorty, like, I can't fuck like this every day. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, nigga, bitch, I do not run off a 9-volt battery. So what the fuck is wrong with you? You like, you be begging, like, yo, please, like, I gotta be to work in literally 2 hours.
Like, say, yo, please.
Exactly, yo, I have to be to work in 2 hours. Can I just get like 30 minutes of sleep? Like, gosh, her response is always, can't you just call in? Like, no, I can't call in.
I called in 3 times already this week.
Right. See, they like,
because I had to go fuck my
the nympho chicks. The nympho chicks really be fucking, and that shit throw you off. Like, but for all you niggas out there who think you want a horny chick, a chick that's horny all the time, you don't want that, big dog. Well, maybe y'all young niggas could do that shit, but for an old nigga like me, nah, baby. I value my sleep too much at this old age.
Stop falling asleep. Sir. That's old man shit.
Yes, I need them 8 hours of Z's, baby. I can't be up fucking you all night and shit like that. Or I get you out the way once or twice a week with the nasty shit. But if you think I'm about to, stand up in that shit for 6-7 hours.
So Britt, you feeling like you got in a relationship? Because that I've never heard a woman say that before. It's usually the other way around. But you feel like you get in a relationship and then the nigga gets complacent as far as what he doing. He's no longer nasty. He coming with the same old tired moves and shit. Do you feel? Damn, I've never heard a woman say that. I mean, I know that comes over time, but not like, as soon as we got in a relationship, boom.
Yeah, the only time it gets, outrageous if we going out of the country. We in Costa Rica, now it's Costa Rica. You freaking it up. But it's like, bro, like, come on.
I wonder how many ladies feel how you feel, because usually it's y'all that once y'all get us, y'all, the old saying, as soon as we got married, she just, boom, next thing you know, she just got boring. She started coming to bed with the bonnet on, you know what I'm saying, and all that shit. She used to wear fucking lingerie and all that. Now she ain't doing none of that. She coming with the big girl panties on, the granny panties and all of that. So I'm wondering how many ladies, if y'all hear this, please let us know, because this is a subject that, because I'm a freak. I ain't stopping. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if we're in a relationship or not. The problem is I could get bored with you. You know what I mean? And if I get bored with that woman, then I don't know how much I'm gonna be doing all of that shit.
Okay, this whole
and that's when I need the feast.
Thing. There's a side of me who's very Claire Huxtable, who really wants the nuclear family. I want my husband and my children and all of that, whatever. And I feel like in today's, this generation of people, we can't look how people did staying with that person for 30 and 40 years, because you didn't have a woman out in the streets, out at the gym where she could meet another dude if you get boring. She had to stay with Uncle Thomas or Uncle Clarence, because she wasn't working. She was at home tending to the kids. If anything, he was stepping out, but for the most part, families or relationships like that stayed together because you didn't have as many options. But nowadays we're distracted. Like, we didn't have as many distractions. Nowadays, you got everything at your fingertips. We out at the gym, we out at the grocery store. And then I'm a type of female, I don't mind coming up to you, starting up a conversation if you look any type of good looking to me. So it's kind of like we may very well evolve into the space where everybody's just fucking everybody.
Yo, I'm gonna tell you one thing. I've come to those grips myself. I feel like when I was younger, I used to feel like, nah, yo, shorty, she got to be all about me. But obviously, like I said earlier, that's all temporary truths, anyways. You know what I mean? Like she's saying that shit, but then
you and I sound like Brian,
down the line,
we lost Brian.
This nigga done fell. Brian fell asleep.
Sound like you and I are both we really believe in true love and being with one person forever, but we allowing our conditions to shape who we really want and what we really want.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know how we lost Brian, but I do feel like overall, I've come to grips to saying, if shorty feel like she gonna step out, fuck it, let's just keep it open. But there's rules to it. It's certain things that you could accept too. Like it can't be on no like we just violating each other in any type of way. Like you fucking whomever you want to fuck. Nah, it gotta be some type of rules to the shit. It can't be fucking my mans and shit. You know what I'm saying? That. But like I know you might get bored because sometimes I feel like because obviously I've cheated before and we officially just lost Brian. But I've cheated before, you know what I'm saying, relationships or whatever. But when I cheated, I ain't come back. I ain't feel like I was closer to the girl that I cheated with. I feel like, I wanted to come back and do more with, it was just like it was kind of spicy. You know how they say you bring in you back when you bring a woman in on some threesome shit. It's like it's supposed to bring spice to the bedroom. I feel like that personally. You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of it all depends on the dude. You know what I mean? So we gonna have to come up with some tips and shit for people, a whole list of what type of person you with, because you could be with that type of person, or the signs to show if this person was to get somebody else, like in a threesome or step out, are you gonna lose them, or can you, or they just getting out there just to experience something, but they gonna come back? You know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm if I love you and you one of my friends and shit like that, like we not just in a relationship, but like you my actual friend in the relationship too. Like I can hang with you. I just love chilling with you. If I step out,
it
don't mean that I want to be with somebody else forever.
You gotta realize before you bring somebody else into the bedroom, you gotta realize how strong your bond is. Because there's a lot of chicks that I wouldn't say my loyalty or my bond like stopped me from cheating on them, but it stopped me from, or it made me do everything I could to stop that shit from getting back to the crib. Like if I gotta shoot this bitch, then guess what, bitch?
Yeah.
Click, click. You ain't coming to the crib. Like I let it be known. Like don't ever think you coming to her at, you know what I'm saying, on the woman to woman shit. Like you know what I'm saying, I let it be known. Especially if we right. I'm always gonna go home.
Like you're not taking me from the crib.
Like we can have a good time, but it's definitely a pecking order. Like it's all up to the man. You gotta establish that shit. Like I never let a chick get comfortable enough to feel like she could come knock on my door or some shit like that. Girl, now I had a few threaten me to do it, and I had a few like don't nothing make your heart drop like a bitch text you a picture of your crib. Like what the this bitch outside?
Oh God, no.
You be getting them crazy chicks though, but that's because you be telling them anything. See, I don't do that, so I don't worry about that. I don't ever worry about that. I don't ever let that woman feel like she's more than what she is at that time.
I will say this, like
just fuck.
Like
you could like me.
Now I was talking on that shit earlier, but at the end of the day, like I'm a pleaser. Like you know what I'm saying? Like I get a lot. Yeah, I get a lot out of.
I am too, but I'm not gonna do that.
Women like that. That get me off. Me satisfying her get me off. So, I just like to. Yeah.
I'm the exact 100% the exact same way.
I won't lie.
I'm just not gonna lie.
But I might in the midst of in between us fucking. Ain't no telling what I might tell a bitch. I might. Hey, ain't no telling what.
Then you gonna lie, son. That's exactly what I said.
Now, but listen,
I'm just not
I
gonna
won't
lie
in
son.
regards
That
to what
way
I
I
got
don't get
going
no
on
crazy
at home
chicks.
and who I am. Now, as far as like me and her or whatever, I will say I lie about that shit. I ain't no telling. Like, and I mean, I lie to a chick so much she'll repeat that shit and I forget I said that shit. Like, when I say that? Like, outrageous ass lie too. Like, when the fuck I say that?
Hey, Brett. So what do you?
Yeah. Ain't no way. I
that don't even sound like me. Yo, but Brett, so what do you feel like based off of women are territorial? Do you think that it would be better for women to evolve as far as, just saying, you know what, maybe sometimes he might need to get something else, or do you feel like that'll work, or do you feel that both parties
I
need to
think
be
both
like that?
parties need to put themselves on the table. You need to put out there who you are, how you're wired before you step into anything. Because I'm not going to sit here and say all men cheat. No man is biologically wired. All men are biologically wired to want multiple women. I'm not going to say that. There are some men who are able to be monogamous. We know that,
I don't believe
but
that.
at the end of the day, both people, I know you don't, babe, but both people, because, I dated guys who were monogamous and they were with me and it was cool and cute. And then, when they were not ready to be monogamous, we had these discussions, but that's because we established in the beginning, like, we're both good looking people. And then the industries that we in, let's keep it real. We're both trainers. So it's like, let's be for real.
You broke
but
up
the thing is,
you said we got panties being thrown, and then what you said after that?
Can you hear me now? Yeah, we're both like, you
it was
consider
good.
the environment that we're going to be in. We're going to be having people coming at us all the time. So if you are in a moment and you want to beat that down after a gym session, one of your clients or whatever, we were both trainers at the time. It's like, we know what time it is. I'm not going to try to, but the way that I am like that when it comes to men, I don't recommend all women be that way. I don't recommend women evolve to accepting that if you're not wired to accept that. I'm a type of woman who does not want to make any man be something that he's not. So be who you are. At some point, you may evolve and find that Brittany is my get right. That's all I want. But I'm not about to beat that into you. I want us to be healthy and to be real with ourselves first.
That's how I feel too. I feel like, yo, I don't want to hold you back because I don't want you feeling like you restricted. So that's why I evolved to the person of, you know what, she might want something different too, and that was not me before, but she might want something different too. And the last thing, I don't want a person feeling like, if I have to be this way, because that's gonna make you want to do it more. You know what I mean? Most people, you want to do things you're not supposed to do. We naturally rebellious.
Even though you lay it out there, exactly who you are, what you about, the type of nigga you is, the caliber of nigga you is, everything. You could give a woman 100% of that, and they still feel like they can change you. If they see they see all qualities that they want in a man in you, except that one thing, they feel like, all right, I could get him out of that. This gonna get him out of that, and shit like that. And then when it don't, you the bad guy.
Yeah.
So
yep.
I mean, from what you speaking, I mean, you really are one in a million. It's not a lot of women. Like, women don't have an open mind. I feel like I just feel like women claim to want honesty, but they hate that shit. They hate it.
Yeah, which we talked about before. They don't want that. They want to be lied to for the most part. You know what I'm saying? They want to be lied to. They want to believe whatever they're gonna believe. They're delusional.
That's not fair, but okay.
Yeah.
But it's facts though. Like, I'm not talking about every single woman. Like he just said, you one of a million, right? But you know women too. And when you talk to most women, they are on the lines of they they want the
but
truth,
let me
but
tell you
then when
this
they get
is what
it, they
makes me
can't handle
exhausted. While you're saying that, I'm putting in my mind, I'm thinking that is why, because I like honesty and I want everybody to be upfront. I tend to do this with romantic relationships and just like friendships too. I tend to, when we first get together, we hanging out, I'm buying drinks, I'm buying bottles of wine, because I want us to be us. I'm telling you my sexploits. I'm telling you the fuck shit I've done overseas and because I want you to know you're in a supportive space. I ain't got nothing to hide. I'm not going to judge you. I'm not going to condemn you. Like, let's just be ourselves, you know? So it's like, I think when it comes to being honest, if a woman or a person, period, does not present themselves to be a space where they can be, where that man can be himself and just be dead ass honest with you. Like, I want my guy to be like, yo, bro, you my nigga. Like, that line, I'd say is every time. I love that line with Method Man and Mary J. When Meth is like finishing his verse, he's like, something, you my nigga. Like, that's the energy I want. So I want you to come to me and be like, Britt, I smashed Felicia last night. Yo, that shit was trash.
Oh man.
Like, I want to hear that. Like, but again, it takes a woman, because come on, like, you're not gonna tell me.
Now, hold on. When you said that line, you meant on a friendship or in a relationship?
In a relationship. The friendship stuff I'm talking about with like women. Like, I kind of mix all of that together because I shouldn't have said that. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I just wanted to clarify because people be like,
I know.
These
to
chicks out here
clarify,
be like,
when it comes to
I don't want my
romantic
man
stuff,
telling me
like, and if I'm trying to get down with you on a romantic tip, the first few times that we hang out, I want us to lay each other out, especially if we're interested. About the fourth or fifth time that we hanging out, we're clearly interested in each other. We're trying to build something possibly or whatever. We should be having those discussions. So I'm saying, I'm trying to get us to the place where we're cool and comfortable with being with each other, so that even if we get to the place where, say, we're outgrowing, quote unquote, outgrowing each other, we're open enough to come to each other and say, listen, my needs have shifted. But that takes the level of self-awareness and a level of honesty with yourself, you know. But I don't think that doesn't exist in our community. There's not a lot of people that out there like that. You know, I don't know. I mean, but then a lot of people don't have time to really dig into their soul and what their soul really wants. If you know, like, I know I don't really want a dude that's just going to be monogamous with me. I really don't. Like, I really, really don't.
Why you don't?
It's such a big world. Like, I want you to explore.
So you want him to explore.
Be yourself. Like, if you're a dude, you meet me and it's like, Brittany, nah, Britt, you do it for me. I'm good. All right, fine. You know, I'll rock with that, but I would bring a woman home. You know,
right,
it's like,
oh man,
I need us to live. And you
want that man is testosterone to keep flowing. You want him to stay.
But in my mind, you know what? I know a
bitch.
person, your listeners listening, she a whole freak. No, I love sensuality. I understand human nature and the fact that you'll see somebody be like, God damn, he fine.
That's what most people don't understand. And that's what I started to understand. That's why I'm getting to the point where it's like, I thought I would never think this way, but I don't really care that much to try to control that woman. Like, if you're going to do what you're going to do, you're going to do it either way. You know what I'm saying? So you might as well just be open about it. Don't try to restrict me. I won't try to restrict you. I mean, there's still some slight limitations or restrictions, I should say, because like I said, don't fuck nobody I know.
People just don't want you to fall in love with the next person and leave me for that girl.
And that's the thing. That's what I need some women to understand. If a nigga is out here, if you got a nigga who's out here fucking different girls on a regular basis, and he meets you and fall for you, he's not gonna meet somebody else and fall for somebody else that easy. Because if that was the case, he would have already been in a relationship. That means you separated yourself from everybody else. For the chances of him meeting somebody, you know, better than you, quote unquote, you know what I'm saying? It's not gonna be likely. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta just understand that shit. As long as y'all relationship is tight and y'all cool, and like you said, you his nigga, like, yo, you my nigga, you know what I'm saying? I could hang with you, chill with you, we can go watch some sports or whatever, you know, just somebody I love to chill with. I don't have to always go chill with my niggas because I could chill with you. I'm not you. That's not replaceable. You can't.
Right, and I want to make something so clear though. I'm not saying that all women should be like this. This took some soul searching. This took me being honest with myself and come into this realization. Like, I'm not this way because I'm settling for the way society is set up, and I don't believe in love, and I don't believe in monogamy. I am not moving off that type of energy.
She faded.
Who I really am.
Damn, you
I just want to be clear that I'm not prescribing the way that I am to all women. I don't think all women should be like this, but this realization, like the way that I operate and move, comes from a lot of soul searching. Yeah.
From you. That's what I'm saying earlier. That's what I said.
Right.
Don't let
That's
women.
what
Let
I was gonna say
dictate
too.
what
I'm at
you
the
got
point now.
You know what I'm saying?
When you get comfortable, where you are after your growth and stuff like that, being around traditional thinkers who just regurgitate what society think is fit. Not that shit. I don't know.
That's a lot of shuffling.
That
What's
shit
going on
annoys the shit out of me. Like, being around traditional thinkers annoy me now. You know what I'm saying? Like that shit's so like a cookie cutter response. Yeah. That shit's so fucking annoying. Like I was watching it was a wedding. It was a black wedding, and the guy came out to. It was one where the guy came out to Rich Homie Quan walk through, and it was another one where the guy came out to like wipe me down. It was some shit like that, and people was on. That's so ghetto, like right, like shut the fuck up.
That's what they like.
Let them have. That's their
thing.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just because it wasn't the traditional way, and motherfucker come out to the same old organ playing, and here comes the bride and all that, man, fuck that. If that's your wedding, you paid all that money, do what the fuck you want to do. Enjoy yourself, have a good time. Right, exactly. Make that shit.
If you want to have a stripper pole in that bitch, have it.
Make that shit a memorable experience.
Invite
man,
me
for
though.
You, your family, and your wife to be. Like, yo, the niggas want that. Oh man, they so ghetto. Man, that shit made me mad. Like, it annoyed me. Like, I gotta get it. But that's too.
Yeah. Nah, I feel you, man. People definitely have to be open. There's no right or wrong way. Then you know what people go with next? Then they go biblical. They try to say, "Oh well, God, God say this," and yet the shit
don't want to get started on that nigga, man.
You know what I'm saying?
That nigga
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that nigga letting niggas headlines receive
that
this
nigga
shit.
intended for the devil to be a whole other person. He fucked that up bad. That nigga had a big old moment with Satan. Let me make this nigga. It's about to be my favorite angel right here, man. He going up. Now look at us. Not only did he fuck himself up, but he fucked us up too.
But yeah, man.
Well, I mean, but then you have the Hotep guys. You have some Hotep men who want to take it back to Africa, where they're like, well, the men and kings in Africa had concubines and wives of wives. So, I mean, we can run the gambit on that. At the end of the day, it's up to you and what you want to do.
Yeah, that's what I said. Just do, some of them niggas, they just saying that because they just want mostly women, but they ain't willing to take care of them. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, whatever works. They say Will and Jada got an open relationship. Nobody actually knows whether they do or don't. I don't know how much they do. I'm assuming that they do because she a freak. Jada's a freak. You know what I'm saying? She said she was a sexaholic or some shit like that. And then Will is just a famous, a super famous guy. So I think they were open. And look, it's working for them. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, they got their ups and downs, just like every relationship. She said it perfectly, and I use this all the time. She said, passion comes and goes. It's the friendship that keeps you there, right? And the commitment to saying, all right, this is the person that I'm going to spend the rest of my life with. So at the end of the day, it works for them. Whatever works, but you can't let society dictate. Ladies, if you feeling like, I'm kind of open to that, don't let your homegirl who man fucked up dictate how you going to think now. Because that's what be happening. My homegirl, man, he fucked up.
Even though it might not work out as far as relationship, boyfriend, girlfriend wise, but like I respect you. You got dope energy, vibe, like everything about you is so positive. Like you really need people like that, in your circle. I feel like anyway.
But see, I couldn't fuck with you. I would have to leave you alone because I'm too into you. Like, No. Like, no. You know, I'm gonna be sending you things.
Send it to me.
Oh my God, I saw this thing in the store.
Send it to me then. Send it.
Like, but I'm making but that's me making an emotional investment. I can't keep doing it.
That's what I mean about, work at it and shit like that. Go ahead, take the time you need. You know what I'm saying? Get into whatever you need to get into. I'll always be here. You can always call me for anything. I always tell chicks that you can always call me for anything. Like, my line always open. You ain't never gotta. No, for real. You ain't never gotta feel like, you know what I'm saying? You already know I ain't gonna judge you over whatever case is. I had a homegirl. Me and her was like that. And she like, we started off, in a relationship and shit like that. And me and her became close friends. She got like extremely famous on Vine when that shit was popping. And, she started traveling to do other Vines and Instagram, sketches with people and shit like that. And she came back and she told me that one of them niggas gave her herpes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So she was like one of my close friends and shit like that. And I was like, like I said, the jokes was gonna fly. She was mad about it at first. Yo,
she was said, like I said, the jokes was gonna fly. She was mad about it at first.
Oh, man. She hung up on letting loose. But...
yeah. Coming back. Yo, I think we got disconnected. But as I was saying,
how she's one of my close friends. And I felt like it was dope that she felt comfortable enough to confide that type of information in me and shit like that. Because she just ain't know.
I hope she ain't listened to this episode.
And she was kind of lost about it at the time and shit like that. So I gave her some guidance. She was younger than me, or whatever the case is. We lost Britt. Yeah. So I gave her some information, some guidance on that, stuff like that. So, but that's what I always tell chicks. My line open. Call me if you need me.
Yeah. So let me ask you, man. Could you get her on the show,
man? I had to reach out to her, but she like she a real cool person. She got a hella dope personality. Then she don't know I said this, but I see what she say. Like, she still do some sketches and shit like that. But I send you her.
Yeah, let's see if we can get her on here, man. We just won't send her the link to this.
And, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, check her out. But she hella cool.
All right, that's what's up, yeah. I gotta get my other homegirl up here too. She's a little nervous to get on though, but she got a big following on IG. If we do another episode tomorrow, I might have to hit her up and see could she get on. But since we keep losing people, man, and this was a real good episode, and I guess it's only right to finish with us too. We just gonna wrap this one up, man. I love this episode, man. I hope you could share this shit. I know you can't.
Too much info, but yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and share.
We ain't never gonna blow, son, because you ain't sharing this shit, son. You gotta just, yeah, man. Nah, I don't want to get you in trouble, man. Don't do it, man. It ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Peace, but all right, to the next episode.